Hi friends and new friends, I'm Christopher Carruthers, also known as Tao Satoshi. The world of decentralized finance is exploding in cryptocurrency. The amount of value locked up in it continues to rise day after day, and the variety of financial products it offers grows just as fast. It's a good idea for established blockchains such as Bitcoin and Dash to give access to this new world to its users. Just like a good networker working the room, giving more functionality to your users and creating opportunities for others to discover you is definitely a good thing. This is part one in a two-part episode exploring how Dash will relate to this new technology. If you didn't know, the Dash network has approved two proposals for Dashers to enter the world of DeFi: Stakehound Dash and RenDash. Joining me today to talk about these two options is Felix Mago, co-founder of Dash Next. That's on this episode of Cash Alternative TV. So what is Cash Alternative TV other than that catchy jingle? Well, it's a show about cryptocurrency with a focus on Dash, which aims to be a digital cash for the world, or an alternative to cash. If that's something that interests you, you want to learn more about Dash, or just want to hang out with me some more, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss an episode. Now onto the topic of today's show. Without further ado, let's talk with Felix Mago. Welcome to the show, Felix.
Hey, thank you for having me again.
Yeah, so for the people that don't know who you are, you're Felix Mago. You're the co-founder of Dash Next. Can you please give us an introduction of who you are and how you got into cryptocurrency and specifically Dash?
Yeah, of course. So Felix, my name. I'm based here in Bangkok with the whole team, and I'm in crypto for such a long time, coming from in banking consultant and financial consultant background. So I did a lot of media consulting as well, or PR consulting before that. And since 2014, like many people, fell into that rabbit hole. For me, that started with writing a book about Bitcoin because I really wanted to find out how it works and how I can get my first Bitcoin, which was really, really painful back in the time. And yeah, fast forward to, I think 2017, I met the guys from Dash Embassy Dach, that sadly doesn't exist anymore. And they showed me the world of Dash, and here we are 4 years later, and yeah, still rolling.
Yeah, so you knew the guys from Dash Embassy. I thought they were pretty good. They did a good job, but apparently my fellow co-masternode owners, they didn't agree with that, but maybe they thought they were asking for too much. But I think if the price of Dash goes back up, I think they might actually be interested in hiring them back if they're willing to come back. I'm not sure if they would be. But you're still going strong. That's good. I see Dash Thailand is also hooking up a lot of businesses into Dash, which is great. And we're also keeping a keen eye on the DeFi space, right? So can you give us a quick overview of what Dash Next is and what your goals are in particular?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. I mean, we consider ourselves, the guys for Dash in Asia, and we consider ourselves to be the business development partnership, and with that also kind of a marketing unit. So what we really do is, we onboard businesses and partners on essentially all verticals, and start integrations and talk about it, and try to bring new values to all our Dash users. And by that, I mean, obviously, the more you go, blockchain is developing so extremely fast. So we kind of always find and explore new angles. As it happens to be, DeFi took off so massively in last year, mid last year. And since then we thought it was very worth exploring it, and it's for me personally opened a bit of a new rabbit hole into blockchain that shows a lot of things you can do with it. And I mean, we will talk about that today in depth, what this is and why this is so important. So in short, we are here on the ground in Asia, leveraging our networks and really going out, presenting Dash all over the place. Right now, obviously, most conferences have turned virtual, but that doesn't stop us from creating partnerships and integrations.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys came on the show, you and Sasha from Dash Next. I remember it was a very good conversation we had a couple of years ago, or last year or something like that. It was very good about how to approach businesses and how to get development and how to get adoption basically for Dash around the world. So what do you think that Dash has? Like, we're going to get into DeFi a little bit later, but what attracts you to Dash? Like, why do you think that Dash has a good capability to get market share in this business?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we have a lot of strong assets in my opinion. We have not only a strong technology, strong blockchain, super fast transactions, but we have this established merchant network, and people use it, people go out. Together with all the teams and all the DFOs, we have managed to accomplish so much in the last years, and we have these regular biz dev calls where we meet with different teams on a weekly basis with, the different DFOs or representative of the different DFOs, and explore, exchange. And I was very impressed, for example, what DCG has built with the FastPass network, because it's just a clever thing for us to do. We have this super fast feature, and we leverage it for people who can trade with it, for bots, for arbitrage opportunities. So there's a lot to explore. But as I see it, and this is how we come, to DeFi, things don't stop, and the whole blockchain ecosystem doesn't stop. And I think what is very, very important to notice is that since last year, essentially, we see so many, different bridges and possibilities for different blockchain projects and different blockchains to work together and kind of leverage cross-chain a lot of new features. And I think this is where, we can shine with what we have, because, and again, this is the strong merchant network and the strong partnerships we have built, and last but not least, the very strong reputations. One thing I always realize when talking to partners is that everybody's super positive about Dash, and we are obviously a good partner for many projects, and it's definitely a strength that enables us to build partnerships probably easier than other projects.
It's pretty interesting with Dash, because you could kind of say that it's kind of the most complete cryptocurrency project out there, because among the blockchain-based ones, because you could ask every different people what they think about Dash, and you might get 5 different answers, right? So some people like it for privacy, some people like it for the payment network, some people like it for the governance, some people like it for the fact that it's self-funded. There's so many different things with Dash that that would appeal to people. And I'm excited personally that with this integration into RenDash that we're going to be talking about later, that more people are going to get to experience that. More people are going to have that. If they're already into DeFi, then they're going to have a chance to go into Dash, and people that are in Dash can go into DeFi. So that's pretty cool. So why do you think that this DeFi thing is going bananas? Like, what are people attracted to in this thing? Like, what's the big selling point for DeFi?
Allow me to add also one more point to your last question, which I forgot to mention. Obviously, Dash Platform is coming up, and Dash Platform is now providing so many things that exactly go into that direction, where this blockchain world and the blockchain space is kind of coming together, right? With the decentralized cloud storage, or with the decentralized API. This is amazing stuff we have now, right? And this actually enables not only us to build new things, but it enables also people from other projects to build on Dash, or to leverage, what might be better, And I think this is a very important thing. And
absolutely, yeah.
Actually, connects in my perspective, connects directly to what is happening in the DeFi space, right? I mean, we started off also with always this claim to be your own bank, to control your own money and so on, right? And I mean, now we cannot do that in a Dash wallet, or from Dash to exchange, or from wallet to wallet, but we can do it cross-chain, cross-product. And with that, I mean, with all these little bits and pieces you can build now, you can build a whole world of financial products, be it a bank, be it a payment solution, be it a lending service. So it's super exciting, and we kind of explore everyday new possibilities, what to do with it.
Right. So what do you think that people are? What's the big driving force behind the DeFi? Like why do people say, like, why is this the next big thing? Why is it exploding right now?
Because simply we can now do a lot of we can do new stuff with crypto and in crypto. This is the simple one sentence answer. And what is this stuff? It's kind of a lot of things we did in crypto. We still needed intermediaries. We still needed third parties. Take a simple example of swapping Dash to Bitcoin, right? It's kind of you always go through a centralized exchange. The decentralized exchanges didn't take off before. Now you don't need that. You don't need to register your email anymore. You just need a wallet address and connect.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think that the marriage between Dash and DeFi is going to be pretty cool. So you introduced Dash to DeFi in the first place with Stakehound integration. It hasn't come to pass yet. I heard that they're waiting for liquidity right now. But can you explain a little bit about what that Stakehound partnership was before we go into RenDash?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm also happy to explain, how all that connects. One thing in all this DeFi space and what has happened in blockchain, it's actually amazing that it took so long that people created that, is the ability to create synthetic assets, right? You kind of can create a copy of an asset on another blockchain. And I think this idea really took off and really drives in a lot of people, because it's kind of the essential building block of doing whatever you want with mirrored assets on other blockchains. So I was super happy when Ruben from Zcoin introduced me to Albert from Stakehound. We started talking and exploring these possibilities. So one thing they are doing, and also this goes very much into what is happening right now in the market. There is a lot of staking opportunities, and people, it's kind of assets that don't generate yield have become less interesting, because there is so many assets that kind of generate yield, and you as an investor or a crypto friend are kind of going to these assets simply because if you don't do it, you don't get interest rate, and other people get interest rate. So Stakehound has this idea to bring on first layer projects to the world's to another blockchain, starting off with Ethereum, right? So this is what they are doing. They create copies of assets on Ethereum. So this is basically also what Ren will be doing. But now the question is, how do you do it? And there's different ways to do it. The most prominent example of all of this is WBTC, wrapped Bitcoin. And wrapped Bitcoin works in a way that you essentially send an original Bitcoin and receive WBTC one-to-one, or basically with if you after fees. So how do you do that, right? The question is, if you do that, somebody has to have custody of this original Bitcoin you create a copy with, because also you need to be able to create it back. If you create a one-to-one copy, you have to take it out of one system and you have to put it into another system. And now, now comes the difficult question: how do you do that? Stakehound chose a way to do it in a very compliant way, basically on the model WBTC is doing it. They're using a custodial service in the middle, right? They're registered in Switzerland and have Fireblocks and Copper as their custodial services. But that means in order to bring this asset to Ethereum, somebody has to do the KYC, right? And this is where we are now. This is why we just opened the pre-registration, and now we are, inviting all users in Dash to come to do the KYC and to send over original Dash and to receive staked Dash in return, right?
Okay, so if I'm a masternode owner, but like say if somebody wants to participate, so you have to do the KYC. Is there like a minimum limit of Dash that you have to put into this liquidity pool, or is it, how does that work?
No, it's not. And it's interesting for many reasons, right? Because what Stakehound is doing, and also this is a major difference to what we will do with Ren, what Stakehound is doing, it focused in the first place on first layer assets that generate yields, like NEM, like yield, like Zcoin, like Dash, and like Ethereum 2.0. So what they want to do is bring over assets that generate yields, right? With Dash, as we all know, we have to have a masternode. And we have to have 1,000 Dash, so that obviously limits a lot of people on having masternodes and owning a masternode and getting or being able to receive rewards for that, right? So now basically everybody can do it. So again, we need to, as a kickstart for all the system, we need people to do the KYC and to bring in original Dash. Basically, you have, if by holding this Dash you receive interest rate. And kind of this is the advantage. And additionally, you can, and we will come to that later, do a lot of things in the DeFi world, because it's to even generate more yields out of that, right?
All right. So is there like I missed the announcement. So is there a site that we can go to for that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just go to Stakehound.com.
You can go to stakehound.com right now and start the pre-registration.
Okay. Perfect.
Right? It's also important to note, we now have zero ST Dash in the system. What we need to do now, we are in the phase where we need to onboard Dash, wrap them, and get out ST Dash. And for that process, somebody has to do the KYC, right? After we have that, we don't need that anymore, because after we have that, we put that on Uniswap or on whatever decentralized exchange, and then people can start trading. And for that, obviously, you do not need the KYC.
Gotcha. All right, so that was Stakehound. Thanks for giving us a little update on that. But Dash Next has presented another proposal that just recently passed to the Dash network, and it was talking about creating RenDash. So what is Ren and what is RenDash?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm super happy and thank you to the community to supporting this and the amazing, positive feedback we got for that. I'm really overwhelmed and very happy about it. So RenDash is basically, well, as you would say in Thailand, same, but different. So it's like kind of another way to wrap an asset. Sorry, it's not Stakehound, Ren. Ren is another way to wrap an asset. And also they have, proven to be a very, very successful model. So the way Ren is doing it, they're doing essentially the same thing like Stakehound, but the custody is not a centralized entity, but the custody are what they call their dark node network. So you send something in, you send original Dash in. I will show you later how that works, or in the next session how that works. You send in Dash to an address, and you will receive RenDash in return. So it's a super simple process, and it doesn't require any registration or such, right?
Yeah, I think Dash, as a community of people that value anonymity and privacy, they're probably going to be more receptive to that type of thing than rather to do KYC. So yeah, I think, but it's good to have two, because you never know. Some people might want to do the KYC route, and all the power to them. But I think the majority of people would probably be more receptive to the RenDash route.
Yeah, let me add. It's not such an easy question. If you just look at the simple market cap, there is a lot more WBTC in the market than there is RenBTC, right? What you say is absolutely right. There's many people who want to do it, but really it has a big value proposition. So if you are, for example, an institution, you will most definitely not go the RenBTC way. You will go the WBTC way with a centralized party that has legal obligations. So this is just it's very important to note that both of these systems are very important, and can have a bit of another use case to do something very similar.
Okay, so can you go into a little bit into what would be the difference between somebody who has ST Dash and somebody who has RenDash? Can you do the same things with both, or is there restrictions on one that aren't on the other? So what are the similarities and the differences between the two?
Okay, the first difference, and this is the key, what Stakehound is doing, it will, with the original Dash, it will create master nodes and transfer these rewards to ST Dash. So it's kind of a rebalancing tool. It means just by holding this ST Dash in your wallet, you will receive master node rewards. So this is the first major difference. The other one, again, is as an institution, if you want to take this route and invest in the wrapped version of Dash, you will most likely use the KYC route. Okay, so again, the other one is with RenDash, and what RenDash enables, and this like fast and no KYC exchange, is essentially an easy and automated back and forth between RenDash and Dash, or the other way around.
All right, and once you have these two assets, what can you do with them? What can you do something with one that you can't do with the other, or is it going to be the same for both of them? Besides the staking, obviously.
Potentially, you can do the same with both assets. The question is, what partnerships can we create with who, for what, and on what platform, right? I mean, now our job, and this is the important part where it all comes back to the business development and to kind of the strategic approach we take, is actually the assumption that the first thing you need to do anything in DeFi is having a wrapped asset and essentially a bridge where you can swap those over. So once you have that, you can be part of whatever is out there in DeFi. And there is every day a new DeFi bank, a new lending protocol, a new staking platform, a decentralized trading bot, a new yield farming program, and whatever crazy somebody else invents tomorrow. And for us now, obviously, it's very important, and this again why I'm so happy that everybody consider us as as a nice partner. Now it's on us to go out and create new things we can do, and we did already. Many things are in the pipeline. Some of them we announced already. With Rubik, for example, we will have another bridge. With OIN together, we will be able to release in a decentralized way a stable coin. Works in a way that you say we have an over collateralization for Dash. So I send, for example, 3 Dash that is, let's say, $600, and then I can take out 1 or 200 or whatever we define as the collateral.
Okay, so can you describe the process that I would do if I want to change Dash into both? Okay, let's start with ST Dash, and then we'll start with RenDash. Are they different processes, or is it pretty much the same thing?
It now depends a little bit in the first step where will be listed first, and we have different options in the pipeline. The biggest exchange is Uniswap. That was the original plan, but maybe we will find or announce some alternatives. So both of these assets will be listed on Uniswap. So essentially the way you can get it once they are on Uniswap is exactly the same. You just go there and you swap on Uniswap whatever asset to either ST Dash or to RenDash. And then again, to bring original Dash in the system is another story. So if you want to do that, you either go with Stakehound through the KYC route and then Copper and Fireblocks, or you do it over the Ren bridge or other partners we will build bridges with.
Okay, here's an interesting question. Can you swap ST Dash straight to RenDash?
Once both are on Uniswap, yes, you can.
Wow. All right. So that means, I guess, if I have RenDash that I didn't do KYC for, and I switch it into ST Dash, which I do need to have KYC, I'm assuming I can't cash out that Dash until I have that KYC, correct?
Cash out into what? You cannot exchange it back to original Dash, no, but you can cash it out in the sense that you go to your DeFi bank, that you send it to the exchange of your choice, and hopefully, this is my perspective, hopefully soon you just use the ST Dash to pay at the existing merchants we have, because it's hopefully seamless at one point.
It's fascinating. There's so many things, like once you get into that DeFi, there's so many things that you can do, right? Like I'm into Hex myself, which is a blockchain CD. And when I do the change into Hex, I see like this whole list of things that you can get into. And there's so much that you have to do research on. And I'm sure a lot of them are scams, but there's probably some that are legitimate and some that are doing really good things. So for those of you who are watching this, there's going to be our next episode. It's going to come out in a couple of days. He's going to go through everything that you can do with DeFi, or like a couple of things that you can do with DeFi, and it's going to be pretty cool. So if you want to see actual DeFi in action, you're going to stay tuned for next episode of CATV, where he's going to go through that stuff. So I appreciate you being on the show, Felix. Is there anything that you might want to tell our users, anything that's on your mind that you might want to say before we sign off?
I would like to add one more, I think, thing that is super important. Why is this all important, and how can this benefit Dash in the long run? For me, again, it's really a strategic approach, as it opens so many new doors. The way I see it, and I think this is you can see that on the numbers right now. For example, shifting from Ethereum to Binance Smart Chain. Just to get a picture, we had $40 billion locked in Ethereum protocols, and just in the last 3 weeks we 15x on total value locked in Binance Smart Chain, up to somewhat like 12 or 13 billion dollars. So there is really not only a lot of money, but there's also a lot of users, right? So obviously I would like to be there where these users are, and I would like to be in, when you open something in the Ethereum world, or even in the Binance Smart Chain world, or maybe in the upcoming Polkadot world, or whatever it will be, I want us to be there, and I think that's a huge opportunity. The other thing is what you just asked: can I swap ST Dash to RenDash? Yes, you can do it, but you can even do much more things. And then we come back to what I mentioned before with DCG creating the FastPass network. We can essentially, or potentially even, tap in that FastPass network into their world of DeFi, and then you can, as ST Dash, RenDash, and the original Dash are supposed to have are supposed to be one-to-one, right? People can start trading the arbitrage opportunity. So by that, we have a huge chance to increase our liquidity, our trading volume, and obviously interest in Dash. Right? So I think these are really, really huge opportunities. And to add that also, if you look at all the exchanges we have, they have very different volumes. So we have amazing exchanges, and actually, we are lucky that that we have a lot of trading volume. That's awesome, but there are some trading pairs on some exchanges that don't, right? And you kind of open the gates to a lot more liquidity in all these pools if you are on these decentralized exchanges. And I think this is really, really important to to be ready for this interconnected and cross-chain future. We are most likely, that is actually there already. It's coming by the day. And I just mentioned not only Ethereum but also Binance and Polkadot, and there's a lot of other stuff coming.
Yeah, so I guess we can consider you guys like the Dash DeFi gurus. You guys are going to show us the way to the promised land type of thing. So what's on your agenda in the next little while? That's the last question I had for you. So how long do you think that this integration is going to take with RenDash? And what are your immediate plans? What are you going to be doing in the next little while?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the next little while, I hope the conference season is about to start soon. We are already working on lots of partnership in that DeFi space, and you just mentioned the session for next time, where I will show you around. Obviously, everything I show you, I want to be there, and I want to have partnerships. So I think there is a lot of good stuff in the pipeline, and I'm super motivated to go on. And one thing I don't want to forget, it's this RenDash integration, super important, and a big shout out to Dash Incubator. It wouldn't have been possible without Dash Incubator, right? This is a very unique and new way how we created a proposal, because the first time, we came together and kind of made this happen together. Because what we need with Dash now is not only obviously all the project management part, talking with these guys, planning what's next, creating the marketing campaign around it once we are ready, and step by step going out, telling the story. But we also need things to be built and an integration to be made, right? And for that, actually, Incubator is really awesome, and Incubator is very curious, same like me, about going into different things and exploring what Dash platform is able to do, and I think with that combination, I'm super hyped actually that we can create lots of things and completely decentralize also all the tasks that are required to implement it and to get it done.
Yeah, so if you're watching this and if you're a developer, you'd probably be really interested in this. The Dash Incubator that he's talking about is basically a proposal for the Dash network that functions as kind of like a bounty pool. So if you're a developer, you do something for the Dash platform or to benefit Dash in general that they're asking for from the Dash Incubator, you can actually earn Dash for your efforts. So it's something that's really good. If you're a DeFi developer and you happen to be watching this, you should check out the opportunities that we have here in Dash, because we're going to be doing a lot more partnerships with DeFi firms. So it's going to be pretty interesting. So check that out if you haven't seen it yet. So Felix, how do we get a hold of you if we have more questions about DeFi?
I forgot to answer your question from before. It's June. Sorry, Q2. Yes. Q2 is, by the way, the timeline of the RenDash integration. And again, we will have to do some of the tasks. They're already specified with Incubator. So this hopefully going to happen very fast. We are right now waiting for Ren for further details. We were securing these funds to start a yield farming campaign, which will happen as soon as we launch RenDash, right? And this yield farming campaign is essentially to kickstart users onto RenDash. That means we provide an incentive for people to provide liquidity into this RenDash and Ren BTC pool. It means people will put in money, lock in money, and because they do that, they will receive some RenDash onto their wallet as an incentive. Okay, and now how people can reach me. People can reach me on Twitter, Felix Mago _dash, or via LinkedIn, Felix Mago, MAGO.
All right, so I'm looking forward to the next episode where you're going to show us all about the world of DeFi. And thanks for being on the show, Felix. I appreciate you coming on. Hopefully we'll have you on again.
Thank you very much. It was awesome to talk again.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was my interview with Felix Mago about our options as Dashers to enter the world of DeFi. Please be on the lookout for the next episode where Felix will be giving us a demonstration of different use cases, such as liquidity farming and decentralized trading. Should be interesting. Well, that's it for me today. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and click the bell if you want to see more from me in Cash Alternative TV episodes. Until next time, remember, Dash is a digital alternative to cash, and it's becoming more so every day. Bye for now.
Cash alternative.